This is how to make the octopus that I have made before, but I used jelly type bands. So what I'm starting with is the two legs that I attach here in the front. So it's just double bands, up to 6 of those, and then I use the way that they do the action figure with a triple the single band on the end. Okay, so I turned the loom around, so I did have the arrow pointing this way. I turned it around, and then I loomed up for each of the legs. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some blue sticks that I got out of a bag of bands, and I'm going to hold these two ends with a single one. And so there you go, you see that they are now on the stick and being held. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the bands on for the rest of the octopus. Okay, so what I'm doing now is the body of the octopus. I'm making sure that the loom is facing with the arrow pointing away from me, and you'll notice that I have made it so that it's not even. I used 2 single bands, one going this way first and then this direction, and now I'm using double bands to go down the remainder of the loom. Okay. At the ends of them I will use a triple band just like you would on an action figure, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so what I've done is after I got all the pegs filled, I went and put triangle bands on here, starting with the second row down and going all the way down. So you're going to do a total of 5. Then what you're going to do is take the arms you created, placing them on this center peg. There's going to be a very thick amount of bands there, much like with some of the other types of action figures. And then what I did is I placed another triangle band over the top. And then what I'm going to do is, starting at this end, I am going to loom up. Okay. Something that I'd like to point out is that I loom up the sides first, and then I stop right here before I get to this point. That way when I do my center, these bands kind of like bring the octopus's head to a round shape. I'm sorry you guys just saw my feet. My apologies, I'm sitting on my bed. So it does give it a more rounded shape, which is why I like to wait till the end to do that piece of it. When you get to this section with the legs, it's going to be working through a lot of thickness, so you're going to need to make sure that you grab these 2 bands and bring them up here. You're going to want to make sure that you have these pushed down far enough. One of the tricks I have for getting to this next set of bands is sometimes I'll turn the loom sideways, locate those bands, and then I'll bring them up through the thickness. It's going to seem pretty difficult if you're not used to maneuvering such a large number of bands, but it's not too difficult. Alright, once you get through the thickness and get up here to the top, you're going to do like you would do any of the other ones. You're going to simply use a band to go through and finish this top piece off. I usually do this part, and then I will show you what I do for the eyes. It's very much like the person who developed the Minion bracelets. I just do the same strategy. Where you position the eyes is completely up to you. You can make it fun however you want to. I kind of go for the middle just because that's just the way I am. I'm more of a linear kind of person. The button eyes I did purchase at Walmart. I'm sorry, not Walmart, Hobby Lobby. They're just like the doll eyes that some of the other people have done. I went ahead and used white bands just so that way when I secure these onto the octopus, you don't see any different colors behind the eyes. However, you'll notice on the back side it is secured with white bands. I'll show you how I position that as well here in just a moment. Okay, so these are the eyes that I've purchased. If you'll notice on the back side, they have a button feature. I do use the hook to make those a little bit bigger on the back. And then I use the dental floss method. I find this does work the best in getting the rubber band through the eye, the piece of the back of the eye. Okay. As you can see, I do have that now pulled through, and then I'll complete this by making this a slip knot, and then I'm going to do that with the second eye so that I can place the eyes onto the loom and start to finish my octopus. Okay, so now I'm going to be ready to do the eye placement. I found that going about 1, 2, 3, 4 down does help. And then generally what I do is I come through this teardrop and down under these two with my hook, and then I will place this piece and capture it and bring it through, and then of course I slip this rubber band around the eyeball so that it stays in place. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll slip this through this teardrop down under these two bands and pick it up on this side. I apologize that this is a really crude and fast video. I don't own sophisticated equipment. I'm having to use my phone to do this, and I only have one hand in which to work with when I use my camera. So again, I apologize if this is kind of crude, but hopefully it's giving you a good idea. Okay, I recanted on where I did my eye placement. I decided that I liked it 1, 2, 3 down, just above the 4th peg. Again, I just looped it around, pulled it through, and I gave it a little tug. Once these bands are pulled off, then I might readjust the eyes just a little bit so that they don't appear too loose, okay? And so the next step now is to go ahead and pull the whole thing off of the loom. And you'll see the finished product. You can readjust the arms as you need to. I will note here, when you do pull off the thicker part of the bands, it would be easier to maybe use your fingers or a hook to gently ease those off, because it is a large thickness of bands to pull off. As you can see, I still missed a spot, so I had to use a C-clip to hold it in place for now, and I'll just redo it. But I wanted to be able to show the video of what I did for the octopus. Nice thing about this is you can make it whatever color you want. Please make this design your own. If you come up with a little bit better technique, I can understand. This was just a crude model. Like I said, I invested in some of these jelly style bands, and I have learned since that sometimes you really need to be careful about what type of bands you buy off the internet, simply because this type of bands can be not the best quality and they break easily. But it was just to find something else to do with this type of band. So hope you enjoy the video.